Uppy, uppy, uppy. It's one funny morning. I'm Dana Blizzard, and it's too early in the morning. This is the dumbest show in the whole world.
From Monday
to Friday. Sometimes on Saturdays.
Why would you say that in front of all these people?
Dean stinks.
You never know what's gonna happen.
That's your Dateline voice?
I don't know.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
It's not a chicken leg. This is a chicken leg.
Look at that manhole cover on my face.
Not a bad rendition of me. Hold on.
We know your brother. We'll give you a ride to school or whatever.
That's called
our school
murder
time.
in New Jersey.
He was a lot
Like what is?
with his everything.
Oh.
What's outside your Puerto de Clima?
That's Stellan! Yeah! Good morning, good morning. There's no more videos in my queue. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if we have some, and maybe we just forgot to load them. But I know Steph didn't have a lot left. Hold on. Any morning videos. Put it on her radar. Good morning. I have not seen anybody's patio videos yet. So I'm waiting for those so I can be inspired by whatever your morning rituals are. I would love to see them. All right. Hopefully it'll show up. Stephanie got a baby. She got mom brain. She got the fog. I have a video. I forgot to send it in. I was going to do a video at my aunt's backyard, but it kept raining. That happens. So good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday. I just finished watching Tipsy Tuesday. It was a good one. Off to the gyno for my yearly exam. Did you freshen up, Marianne? Of course you did. Did you shave your legs? Of course you did. That's always like, you really have to get your life together. Like, there's a lot of things you could do, and you'd be like, I'm just going to phone this in. Gynecologist is not one of them. Can't really phone it in. You're either ready or you're not. You know what I'm talking about? Guys don't even get that. They just don't. Did Stephanie have a baby? Yep. That would explain the mom brain. At least I hope so. If not, she has got someone's baby. And she has zero reason for forgetting things. Wasn't it great when you can just be like, oh, I have mom brain. Laura just said it. My youngest is 16. I still have mom brain. Well, that happens too. Some patio videos have been posted. Do you want to send them stuff? Yeah, you have to send them stuff or we won't see them. Can't just post them on the supporter page. We can't take them down because they're technically owned by you because they're on your page. So yeah. Renee, I don't know what you said, but you used a lot of letters and I'm proud of you. She had a baby boy. So beautiful baby boy. Girl, what happens if you got mom brain? You got no baby. Those are other issues. Someone is calling it the wrong thing. That's a lot. Do I look swollen? Do you ever just look at your face and you're just like, I feel swollen in my face, right? Look at me. Look at me. You see it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I should be happy. It's like instant collagen, but it's almost always like if this is swollen, then other parts are swollen, the parts that hurt. Mhm. It's a lot. Yeah. Melanie, the girl every morning, swollen. But you're supposed to be happy because eventually we're all going to be just try to be like shooting collagen into to look swollen. I don't feel swollen, just fat. It's another one. It's also on the list. Also on the list. And again, I can't imagine any man on the planet has gotten up in the morning and been like, girl, look at me. Do I look swollen? What about here in my middle? I would love it if a guy this morning, Jason was getting ready. I don't know. He was like putting shoes on. He was like, I don't know if these go with my outfit. And I just started laughing. And he was like, what's so funny? I said, I love that you have outfits. I don't even have outfits. Does your husband / man / partner / lover have outfits? Have you ever been like, this is nice? Jason got outfits. And it's intimidating. Does he? Jason Bateman always says, am I puffy? Oh, I love him. I think it's adorable. No. When I said to Jason, we need to get like some mirrors in here, like by the front door and the room. He was like, what for? I was like, so we could see what we look like when we leave. My husband has some sharp work clothes. He has some suits that are really beautiful. That's what I'm saying. Girl. Before we went away for a few weeks, my boyfriend matched things up and called them outfits before packing. Isn't it adorable? My husband does, and I'm in like sweats and a t-shirt kind of gal. He is, Sharon. He's very put together. We are in Studio S for Shore House. My husband thinks he does. I'll say those colors don't match, and he blows me off and wears it anyway. I mean, he's got patches on blazers, so it's obvious. I mean, it's so funny. Makes me laugh. Yeah. Anyway, so it's Wednesday. Heading back to the house today. Checking on things. I realized, oh wait, so they said, just so you guys know, there is a hot tub and pool at every hotel. And I was like, what? In Vail. And then I checked the weather and it's like 60 to 72 degrees. And I was like, do you still? Because at this point, I'm like, if I'm away and there's like a hot tub somewhere and I could just go sit and have to work, I don't know. My husband only asked me if his outfit is okay when we go out together. Otherwise, he could care less. That's nice. I try to compliment my grandsons when they match up clothes because so often they don't. My husband's work clothes have holes and stains. He's a construction worker. Well, that is exactly what he should look like. Does he dress up sometimes too and then just look so dapper? At every hotel in Vail. I feel like Vail is like the bougie place where you go where it is cold, but everybody's in the hot tub anyway, like that. I don't know. I have a feeling I'm just going to do like people watching for like a good part of the time. Just sit somewhere. Be like, girl, we're in Vail. Mm-hmm. No. Booby. Not a chicken leg. She's like, I think it is. If it's heated, you can take a house coat to put on after you get out. Tracy, how old are you? You said house coat. Brian's like, what's a matching outfit? Yeah. I have not heard house coat in a long time. And I want to thank you because my grandmom had a house coat. No, Vail is lower than Breckenridge, which might be the only reason I don't get a headache. I'm a little concerned. I'm not usually affected by altitude. I was fine in Denver. I was fine in Boulder, not fine in Breckenridge. Shakendra, I looked again last night and there are more tickets available. Shakendra, keep your butt home. You know she's just gonna show up and I'm gonna be like, girl, I got a hot tub. Girl, you crazy. I'm over here stressing about it. You're like, that would be fun. So, Tracy, don't change it. Don't say bathrobe. I like house coat. I like the idea that we can go back to a time where women were home and in pajamas for so long that they were like, I should put a coat on, make it seem like I went somewhere. Why can't we just bring it back? I know. She probably got her ticket. She laying out outfits. She picking out shoes. I know. What am I talking about? I always say house coat. You do? I love my house coats. Tracy, are you on the supporter page? Post a picture of you in a house coat. On the supporter page, if you have a house coat, post that. I think my mom still has some of my grandmom's, but my grandmom was this big, so her house coats like almost went to the floor. If I wore her house coats, they'd be like hot pants. And it would just cause a lot of problems around here. Just to be like, that's a nice looking house coat. I'll be like, it's not supposed to be this short. Matching belt, shoes, purse. What's your house coat? I only own a house coat. What? Why don't we bring house coats back? That is what it is. It's basically a dress that zips up in the front, easy access. Joyce said, I bought a caftan. What's that? All right, here's Kathy. I had a strange dream last night, and you were there in Shakendra. Her house was there. You guys were eating lunch at a long table. I was at the next table. I introduced myself, and you were friendly and nice. And then I went to take a test, and I was late, so I have no idea where that was going. Viola, I bet that there's like housecoats.com or something. My house coat has pockets. Oh, Madeline, now you just bragging. Usually quilted. I have a floor length zip up hoodie. Anne Marie, we should talk. I got a robe as a gift 10 years ago and still haven't worn it. I don't even own pajamas. I'm in shorts and t-shirts when in the house. Is a caftan a muumuu? Caftan is Mrs. Roper. That's a caftan. That's not a muumuu? I always called it a muumuu. Caftan. I've never heard that word before. I've heard Afghan. No, a house coat is an article you put on over your jammies in the morning and after a shower made of cozy fleece. My grandmom's weren't cozy fleece. I mean, maybe she had a winter house coat, but hers were light. And she'd put it on over her pajamas because she always wear, yeah. I have a beautiful caftan. Oh, we should have a caftan party. It's essentially a Mrs. Roper. I wonder if that actress has any idea. Is she still alive? I don't think so. Like, clearly, the star of that show, John Ritter, Joyce DeWitt, Suzanne Summers, household names. Audrey, was that her name? It's coming to me. And I want to say Norman Lear, but I might have made that up. Norman something. Do you think she has any idea like that now people have Mrs. Roper runs? Like there's no such thing as like a John Ritter run? Nobody knows. She transcends. Is it Audrey Lindley? Norman Fell. Thank you, Tim. Who's Norman Lear? Audra. I have a caftan and I love it. Maybe I should get a caftan. She passed. She did. She was groundbreaking. Even then, her big jewelry, like the big. And every time Norman Fell, Tim, like the best part of that show is when he would do a joke and then he'd look right to camera. Like, just think about it. It was just so weird, but like inside joke with this one character. Like, there was no other show that did that. It's my birthday and I need a house coat. It's similar to a robe, Corina, but not the same. Sometimes like the muumuu or the caftan would go over. But a house coat, girl, got buttons. Sometimes it's got pockets. And Tim, it was so funny. I can't think of any other show around that time where he would break the fourth wall. Because the other ones that would go back and forth, and I still love watching it, is on Sanford and Son, Esther and him going back and forth. Oh, the burns. Even then, it was wrong. But that show was just so funny and written so well. But did he ever look at the camera now that I'm thinking about it? I feel like it was just really Norman Bell. Is that his name? Such a good show. Larry. And then who was the girl? The hot mama? And she had like a sexy name. I mean, she'd always stop by and she was just, does this help anybody? I know exactly what I mean. John Ritter was the best. And she's Lana. Thank you. It was Lana. So good. I think John Ritter always looked in the camera when he said something really flirty. Did he? I don't remember that. I wonder whose idea it was to they're like, and now on this one, you're going to look right at the camera. And he's like, what? You don't look right at the camera. You want me to look in the camera? Yeah. Anybody else going to look in the camera? Yeah. That's it. Just you. Growing up, the lightweight cotton thing with pockets was called a house dress. Too casual to be seen in public, but good enough for housework. And then the house coat was like the quilted one. I'm going to ask Diana to give us a full fashion show of my grandmom's fashions. I'm not about the house coats. No way. I don't know. You haven't seen the fashion show. Larry from Three's Company just turned 81. What? Kimberly, you're poo-pooing an idea that you don't even know. You don't know who you could be. Have you ever tried it? Don't poo-poo it. Winter in Ontario, house coats are lovely. I do have a bed coat. It's short. It stops at my waist so my arms don't get chilly. Okay, let's stop right here. Tracy. My girlfriend, her husband, we did a video about it. It was so long ago. We're talking to him one night. And he says, I don't know. I guess I thought that all guys, here are the two options for sleeping for men. Underwear. I guess there's three. Underwear, no shirt. Classic. White t-shirt, underwear. Number 2. Third choice, nothing. Right? Fine. I don't know how we get on the topic, but my girlfriend's husband was like, oh, that's not what I sleep in. I'm like, that's all that's left. What are you talking about? He goes, no, that's not. And my girlfriend just started cracking up laughing. She goes, I can't believe you're going to tell her. I go, tell me what? She goes, what he sleeps in. And she can't stop laughing. He goes, I don't know what you're laughing at. And I was like, what kind of kinky, what? He's like, Dina. That's what I mean, Dean. And then there's just sans clothes. Fine. But those are not the 3 top choices he had. He was like, no, that's not how I sleep. I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, I have my underwear on. I go, okay. Underoos is the 4th option. He said, well, I like sleeping with no clothes on, but my arms get cold. And I was like, okay. And she said, Dina. And she goes and gets it. It was like, I think he had 2 versions. They're all crop tops. All crop tops to like here. They were cut to here. So he got like a t-shirt. So like in the summer, if he wanted to kind of like sleep naked, but keep his shoulders warm, he got a t-shirt and this man cut it here. And so when he would go to bed, I guess his sexy look for his wife was like, when you want some of this, but with a crop top on. His shirt was cut here. And in the wintertime, he had a long sleeve white shirt and crop top so that his body could breathe from, I guess, here down. But if his arms were on top of the covers, I go, this is how you come to the bedroom. And he was like, she loves it. And my girlfriend could not stop laughing. And I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, basically he had socks on his arms so that he could sleep naked, be warm up top. Party at the bottom, warm and cuddly at the top. So I guess I'm just asking, what are your husband's, boyfriend's, lovers wearing to bed? Is it weird? I know they're not wearing house coats, but I just imagine my grandmama just walked around in her house coat with her buttons in her pockets, probably a cannoli in her pocket or something. And my grandpa was like, you're so sexy. I think it's time to bring the house coat back. In my mind, my future husband sleeps in black boxer briefs. Girl, draw a picture. You know how they're looking for suspects and they get like an artist to draw them out. Maybe we can find them. Many years ago, when I left my husband, I stayed with my parents for a couple months. I came downstairs the first morning in a worn T-shirt and sweatshorts. My mom looked at me up and said, "No wonder you're getting a divorce." As dry as it can be. That was her humor. God, I miss her. Oh, sounds like a lot of shade. Mm-hmm. White T-shirts, pajama. I thought all men slept nude and boys wear pajamas. I don't know, Dean. Hot Jed sleeps nude. Pajama pants and a white T-shirt. My husband wears tidy whities. So nobody's wearing crop tops. My fellow wears PJ pants, no shirt. All right, these all seem reasonable. My philosophy for bed, here's Tim. Wear something you can run out of the house in if there's a fire. Do you mean a crop top? With sleeves to keep you warm? You'll have to let me know. My dad wears pajamas like the Grandpapa and Willy Wonka. Very sexy. You know, every time I see Willy Wonka, I'm like, now there is a sexy pop-up. That's what I take from that movie. I know, Courtney, don't bring it up. All right. So now that we have done a little bit of a deep dive into what people should be wearing to bed, and I've ruined bedtime by telling you. Let's see. Hold on. Where is this email from Michelle? What men could possibly be wearing to bed. Yeah, it's a whole thing. All right. I don't know. All right. So this is big, guys, because we started this process of meeting all of the comedians from the Vail Comedy Festival probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. And we are excited to bring you our final contestant who will be in Vail with me this weekend. I wish I had a fantastic bio to read for him, but I cannot find it from Michelle. So, wait a second. Hold on, Greg. I'm going to bring you out. Here we go. All right. Let me introduce you to Greg. Greg Capra is a millennial who wants to have his life together but keeps getting derailed, mostly due to his own actions. Originally from San Francisco and now calling Raleigh home, Greg's comedy is a masterclass in relatable angst and clever wit. He's performed at legendary venues like the Comedy Store, Ice House Comedy Club, and Gotham Comedy Club. He was handpicked to perform at Nate Bargatze's Nateland live showcase at Zanies, and he's a regular at Don't Tell comedy shows nationwide. He's even shared the stage with heavyweights like Jim Gaffigan, love him, Brian Simpson, Trevor Wilson, Steve Hofstetter, and Ian Lara. He has taken his act to a number of festivals, including the Rubber City Comedy Festival, where he won Best of Fest. And you can check him out this year at the Vail Comedy Festival. So please help me welcome to the show, Greg Capra. Hey, Greg.
Great job reading that. I've never had anyone read me my bio before, and so it was a little, it made me die a little bit inside, but I like it.
Were you going like this while I was reading? You're like, yeah.
It's like, you know, when someone like sings you happy birthday, and you're just like sitting there and you're like, that's kind of how I felt, but it was good. I appreciate it.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, it's a good bio. You've done some things, which is exciting. I know that you were here during my conversation about jammies. And so I just wanted to check in with you. Do you have a hard line about jammies in any way?
I don't have a hard line. I will say, I think 98% of men, and I feel comfortable saying this, do not wear anything to bed. Or if they do, it's like minimal boxers and that's it. Men get hot like very easily, and they need minimal clothing around them.
Greg, it's clear that you're young and you are not dating any post-menopausal women because the fact that you say men get hot when you don't know what kind of inferno is just raging right here for women. But it's fine. I understand. You guys can be hot in the early years, and then we will scold you with our skin in the later years. It's fine.
Yes.
It's too early for you to know that, Greg. You don't need to know that. So wait, I was cracking up. I was on your Instagram this morning, and very funny stuff. I want to ask you about the Raleigh Comedy Festival because that was funny with the mayor. But I noticed that one of our favorites on our show was commenting on it, and then I realized you were from Raleigh. I worked with Matt Ain't White.
Yes.
Years ago.
Yes.
Love Matt White. We're basically married. I don't know if he talked about me. Has he mentioned?
Oh, he never did. So I don't know if that's awkward, but
that's weird.
No. He's a sweetheart. He's a staple over here in this comedy scene.
He is. So you started, where did you start doing stand-up?
I started in San Francisco, and then I moved to Raleigh about 3 years ago.
And what brought you to Raleigh?
A girl. I was with a girl, and I still am. We're living together. She's upstairs sleeping
No.
with jammies on, and yeah, she wanted to move to Raleigh to go to grad school for like a nurse anesthesia degree, and I
Wow.
was like, well, I'm a stand-up comedian. I can just go wherever. So here I
And
am.
how different is the San Francisco scene from the Raleigh scene?
Pretty different. Pretty different. Very different crowds. Uh,
Hmm.
it's a lot more rural here in different areas, and
Mhm.
but people love to come out to shows. It's awesome. They love it. So it's got a little taste for everyone, and it's a good scene. You can travel to like Atlanta pretty quickly. Nashville's not too far away, so there's a lot nearby.
That's awesome. So it's been interesting. So do you know anybody that's going to the festival?
I do. I actually have done stand up with a couple of the San Francisco comics that are going to be at the festival.
Who are they? Which ones are the San Francisco?
Ian and Denise. Denise Lee and Ian Langwitz, I think his last name is.
Did we meet them? I don't know. I don't remember Ian. All right. Well, good. Well, I don't remember meeting them
Yeah.
yet. Michelle said no, we haven't met them. All right. Well, that'll be cool. So I've been asking everybody, how did you get started in stand up? So like, I mean, you're pretty young. Are you you're still in your 20s, right, Greg?
I'm actually 30. I'm about to be 31.
Okay. Ooh,
Yeah.
so old, Greg. So
I know. I mean, listen, 30s is old. 30s is when people start asking you like, what's up with kids, marriage? Is that on the docket for you? What's going on? And you have to start like having answers for these things, I've realized. So I've been kind of floating until now. So I just discovered wine recently. That's been a thing.
What's your favorite wine?
Chardonnay. So I put it right here. Description: Chardonnay enthusiast.
Oh, Chardonnay enthusiast.
Mhm.
Didn't even see that. Interesting.
It's great. I love Chardonnay. I don't know why.
Do you think it's an age thing now that your palate has come into its own at 30? Like, what was the reason for the change?
I think it's that. I think it's I think it's, I'm just starting to find like uh just things that are older, like more attractive now. Like I see a man on his porch and I'm like, that looks nice. And I don't know, like yelling at kids seems fun.
Yeah.
So but I don't know, wine is just, no one tells men about wine drunk, but it's the best kind of drunk that there is, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my son, we had gone to Chardonnay on a trip, and he was like maybe 19 at the time. So, you can drink there. So he started drinking wine. Well, now, Greg, he what's the pink one with the
Rosé?
Loves rosé. So he was like 22, 23 at the time. So he had his palate kicked in early. So he'd be out and guys were like, give me a case of beer. And he was like, do you have a rosé in the back? And we're like, no. Do you want a beer? And he's like, no, I'm good. It's so funny.
I love that for him. Is he still a rosé drinker now?
He does. He loves the rosé. He's gonna find a special lady, Greg. Speaking of my son, we'd have to show you this because we showed your picture yesterday and everybody was cracking up. They were like, that literally looks like Dean. So here's a picture of you and my son next to each other. This is the two of you. And we were like,
God.
with his head parted to the side. Yeah.
Just two Italian boys with rosés looking great.
We were like, that could be Dean. It's so funny. So he's 25 now. So
question for you. Two questions. Can I ask questions? Am I allowed to ask questions?
No one's asking questions. So go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I got a couple of questions for you. Okay. So first question, when you named your son, were you like, let's do minimal letter rearrangement to go from Dina to Dean?
I'll tell you, it's caused a lot of problems with like Social Security. My son was filling out a form the other day. So his name is Dean, and he's filling out the form for like an emergency contact somewhere. And he fills it out. And the lady was like, sir, you can't do this. And he was like, what do you mean? She was like, you can't name yourself as your own emergency contact. And he was like, this is my mom. It's the letters are switched. And she was like, oh, okay. I thought you were trying to name yourself. And he was like, who names themselves? I'm like, listen, if it's an emergency, someone should tell me. He was like, why would I do that? He was like, oh, it's so funny. So yeah. So, but my grandfather was Dominic. My mom is Diana. I'm Dina. So it had to be a D name. And I've never met a Dean that I didn't like. Deans always just seem to be like cool guys. So that's
it's a great name. Great name. And are you guys Italian?
We are, obviously.
Okay.
All the D's, Dominics, the moo-moos, the as I was saying, the house coats, cannolis. It's written right in the stars.
Yeah, I heard you say something about a cannoli in your pocket or something.
Yes.
And I was like, that sounds phenomenal.
So you're Italian, Capra, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Are you 100%?
I'm not 100. My dad's side has some non-Italian, and we don't speak about that side.
We don't bring it up.
We don't bring it up, but my mother's side is Sicilian. My dad's side is Northern Italy, so there's potentials.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So, like in our grandparents' generation, I'm obviously a lot older than you, but in my grandparents' generation, everybody was Italian, married Italian. And even my mom's generation was the one that started to marry non-Italians. But then, people were divorcing, whatever. But if we had a family reunion, Greg, everybody looked the same. We all had dark hair, dark skin. We're Italian, right? Well, somebody got divorced and married a woman with 3 kids. And I remember them coming to a reunion. We're like, who are those white kids?
Mm-hmm.
We're like, they're so white. They're not related to us. And it was just like the scandal. We're like, look at the white kids. Like, it just was so funny. We're like, how would they know where this party is? Isn't this it was just so funny. And now everybody's just so mixed. And so it is.
That's when like all the relatives start judging them for like random little things. They're like, oh, they didn't even go back for seconds. Who are these people?
Is your girlfriend Italian?
She's not. So yeah, I might be shunned from the family.
Yeah. No, it's a thing. It's a thing. So you've never been married before. This is your.
Not that I know of. Yeah, this will be. I think we're on our way.
Okay, that's exciting. Now, when did you start doing stand-up?
I started 2020. Yeah, best time to start stand-up, I think.
Wait a second. You've only been doing stand-up for 5 years?
Oh, yeah. And, I thought, what better time than when everyone can't go to a show?
I was going to say, how did you even start?
Well, it was great. It was no one knew about it. And everyone was doing weird things during COVID. People were like live streaming. Like my grandmother was like live streaming. I was like, what is this?
That's so funny. That's so cool. Well, wow. So you're killing it then. You've got some really great credits for only doing it for 5 years, and 3 of them were in lockdown.
Yeah, I just whenever I sign up for a show, I'd say my name is someone else. So I'll be like, oh, I'm Kevin Hart, or I'm Mark Normand, and then I get spots. So.
And then you get spots.
Yeah.
So okay. So at that point, you were still in San Francisco, and you just show up to an open mic one night.
Yes, I told no one about it because I was terrified. I had actually been wanting to do stand-up for years before it. I just didn't have the courage to, and so I was writing jokes. So I actually had like not a terrible 5 minutes before I went up, because I had been prepping it for like a year for this time in the future that somehow I'd muster up the courage to go on stage.
That's awesome.
And then finally it was like, it was COVID. There were open mics happening, but it was like kind of few and far between. And like, you had like to mask, which was not great. You can hear people through the microphone. Yeah. And, so yeah, I went up on stage. I still have it recorded on my phone. I blacked out. I don't know what I did or how good it was. I've never watched it.
Yeah. No, I wonder if I have like my old sets from when I started. I'm sure they're just horrendous. Because you were like, I'm so ready. And then you get up there and there's a light and then there's a waitress and then there's this and then boom, it's over. And you're like, what did I don't even know what I said. I don't know what happened. Everything just kind of went so fast. So that's so funny. All right. So you were doing stand-up during the pandemic. So, because my question is, so I was married for 24 years and I got divorced. And so I was not a comic when I got married, and then I became a comic. So I'm always interested to see, like, so you were doing comedy already. Like, what did your girlfriend, like, were you nervous for her to like come see your stand up? Because it's a big deal.
Yes, I was super nervous. I also was really new when we started kind of dating and getting in that zone. So I didn't want her to see it yet because I was like, I'm not good. Like, this isn't impressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is not something I would willingly show people as like, this is a big part of my life. Come see it.
You want to see me do something?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how did you guys meet?
So we actually met in college years earlier. And then we were just friends, kind of talking on and off for many years, dating other people. And then during COVID, she was visiting San Francisco. She had a good friend there. And I was like, hey, while you're in San Francisco, let's reconnect. Let's meet up. Let's go get a coffee or get dinner or something. And we did. And we hit it off. And we spent like every day together that she was there. And then she went back to North Carolina where she was living at the time. And I was like, well, what do we do now? We have like all these feelings. We've had a great couple of days, and like we're very clearly infatuated with each other. But now we're just like on opposite sides of the planet. So what do we do? Or not planet, but country.
Wow. Oh, what a nice love story. Were you nervous? Because I feel like, I was just talking to another comic the other day, and he's been dating this girl for about a year. And I had said, somebody else said, what does she think of your stand-up? And he said, she hasn't seen it. And I just stopped and I was like, you guys have been dating for a year and she hasn't seen your stand-up? And he was like, no. She said she doesn't want to see it. That's like my work and that. And I was just like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the only way this works is if, like, I don't need you coming to every show, but like you should be somewhat interested in meeting people and the thing, right?
Yeah, it does. I feel like that would feel like you're hiding like a mistress from them, where you're like, I'm just going to go to this random bar for 2 hours.
Yep. And I'll either come back super happy or super sad.
Or exactly.
you really won't know until
it's so funny. Like, I feel like I'm a very stable person emotionally until I do stand up, and my girlfriend will like, I'll come back home and I'll either be, like you said, I'll be like on cloud 9 or the worst person to deal with ever. Yeah. And she's like, I love that you do stand up and I love that you love it so much, but you come home and it's like Russian roulette with your emotions.
Who's coming in the door?
Yeah.
So one of our people said, how does your family feel about you doing stand up? Do you have siblings or anything, Greg?
I do. Yeah. I have an older brother, older sister.
Okay.
Yeah, my family, they're supportive. I feel like so my parents surprised me and came to a show in San Francisco when I was very early on. I did not know they were coming. And
did you know before the show or not until after the show?
Not until I saw them there that they were there.
Like, you were up on stage when you saw them?
I was about to go on stage and then they walked in the door and I was like, oh, great. And this was a terrible show. Like, everyone, like, there's like 4 people in the audience. Everyone's bombing. It's open mic. It's not good. And yeah, I did 10 minutes of terrible stand up. And my parents were like, all right, this is what you've been doing. This is your passion. This is interesting. But they were nice about it. But they were like, I'm sure that you're a parent. You've seen a kid, like, I don't know if you go to like a soccer game and they suck and you just have to be like, okay, all right.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So. No, it is. And so you're the baby. And so, they were all talking about that. Like, did we tell you what Greg's doing now? He's at the comedy. Yeah.
I am the most likely to go off the rails. So I think that's kind of expected for me.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, so during the pandemic, you decided to do this crazy thing, but you were about 25, 26 years old. So what were you doing prior to that?
You just unearthed a part of me that I've been like pushing aside for many years. So this is like therapy.
Just let it out.
Wow. I feel like I need a Chardonnay right now. What was I doing? I don't know, like breaking and entering. No, I was trying to find I was trying to Who am I? I was dating people. It
I mean,
wasn't
did you have
working.
a job? You were 25.
No. I had a job. I had various jobs. I like how I'm like Jason Bourne. Like I had various jobs. No, I've been working in my day job is uninteresting. I work in IT. It's just kind of a means to an end. It's fun. I like it. It pays me, so it's good. But I was living.
Why does it sound like now you're trying to convince yourself? You're like, no, I like it. I do. It's fine. It's a fine job. I don't even think we're talking. You're just like, no, we're doing a great job. Greg's doing a great job.
Yeah, this could be just me on this Zoom right now, and I'm still having the same conversation.
Yeah.
No, I was like skateboarding in San Francisco, dating people. I was drinking coffees in
All right, but in your bio, it says that you have like a degree in mathematics. I'm trying to get to the part where you're like really smart.
Oh, well, yeah.
I wasn't trying to bring you down a rabbit hole. I was trying to be like, no,
Yeah.
but you were like really smart before. You left this whole smart part out.
I did get a degree in mathematics, which is a weird time in my life. Yeah. Yeah.
Why aren't you bragging about that? Why does it seem like a very like a low point?
It's not a low point. It's such a different. It's so different than where I am now. Like being around stand-up people is just the opposite from being around academics. To be honest, I kind of hated being in academia because it's not who I am. But I did love like specializing in something and trying to get really good at something very particular. In school, I was always not that great at like writing and reading and history and all that stuff, but I was pretty good at math for some reason.
Uh-huh.
And so I just kind of leaned into that, and that's where I went down academically, and I enjoyed it. But I don't know. Now I'm backpedaling. I paid so much money for a math degree. Now I'm a stand-up comedian. So.
I was gonna say, like years ago when I started college, I was a music major. I played classical piano, and eventually I get a degree in biology and a master's in gerontology, which is old people. And I wonder at times, Greg, like why would God make me remarkably good at like music? And so I later figured out, because when I started doing stand-up, like I think it was literally the first time I got on stage, you're so nervous, you're at open mic, and somebody came up to me and they were like, oh my gosh, you were so natural on stage. And I was like, okay. And he was like, have you been on stage before? I'm like, I've done some talking before, but not like stand up and so going on. He goes, yeah, you're just so natural. Just, you just looked really comfortable. He's going on. And I was like, was I funny? Because I was shooting for funny. And he was like, no, not yet, but you have really good timing and you're really natural on stage. But everybody just kept talking about my timing. They didn't say I was funny, but they said my timing was good. Mm-hmm. And I say this because for a long time, I thought I was supposed to be a musician. I was like, oh, God made me good at music, so I'm supposed to be a musician. And it wasn't until later that I found out that so many comics are also musicians, and that timing that I understood for music helped me, I think, in the long run with, writing jokes. Is there anything like that when you think about this, how you excelled in math? Is there any correlation to anything? Like, is there any way that your brain kind of works that you can see artistically how these come together?
I think so. I feel like math is you're trying to like crack a code. You're trying to solve a problem, and with jokes, I often feel like I'm trying to do that when I'm writing jokes. I'll have a topic in my head or a premise that I think is really funny, but I don't know how to crack it. Like I don't know how to make it really good on stage yet. Mm-hmm. And I'll spend like an entire week on just one topic trying to figure it out. And I do feel like that is very similar to how I spent the majority of my time studying math. So yeah, I mean, it's to some degree it's creative, but it's also kind of analytical to trying to figure out how to like write these punchlines in a way that makes sense and work on stage.
This is the deepest conversation I've had with anybody from the comedy festival. I'm like, let's do it. Let's just go deep here with Greg. Let's just ask him a lot of questions.
Hell yeah. I love it.
Yeah, but I love it. I think it's so interesting because I think that those are the things that, everybody kind of brings to the table, are these kind of unique, these unique backgrounds, and how everybody kind of comes to different things. And how you said about kind of attacking like a topic reminds me so much of Jim Gaffigan, how he'll be like ketchup, and then he'll like, I imagine he must be home like, somebody say a word. I need a new word. And it's amazing. And then it'll do like 20 minutes on ketchup, and it's just awesome. So who are your like big comedy influences? Who do you love?
I have so many. I feel like I'm discovering more every day. There's so many good new comics. Comics I look up to are uh, Jim Gaffigan for sure, Nate Bargatze,
Love it.
Anthony Jeselnik,
Mhm.
Sarah Silverman. Um, I loved like Chelsea Peretti when she was doing stand up.
Oh yeah.
Michelle Wolf is great. Um, yeah, Chris Rock is probably on my Mount Rushmore of
Okay. All right. Well, you're on your way for sure. So one thing that I have been apparently breaking to all the comedians, because nobody reads, do you know that we are not allowed to do the same material twice?
I did see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just you and I then, because I brought this up to pretty much everybody. They were like, what are you talking about? I'm like, we signed a document that says you're not allowed to repeat anything during the festival. And they were like, who said? I'm like, you, everybody. So I've been slowly breaking everyone's heart on the interview. I'm like, did you know? Because that's the thing. So
Yeah, Sunday nights is going to be, everyone's going to be real loose on Sunday night on stage.
yeah. Did you look at your schedule? I've been trying to see who I'm on shows with now, because nobody understands Slack. I just figured it out randomly, and so I saw the schedule yesterday. So I'll have to see who I'm on with next.
I think we're on a show together. I think I'm hosting a show that you're on, so I'll get to read your bio, or not.
Okay.
I'll get to intro you.
You know what it's going to be? She was a mathematician who used to live in San Francisco, like that. Just steal yours.
We can swap bios. That'd be a fun. We'll see if
would-
anyone figures it out.
Yeah, you would be a great Miss New Jersey. You would have rocked it. I can feel it.
I can be a sassy Italian lady.
Yeah, you could do it. Yeah, it's the Italian. So are you coming by yourself? Is your girlfriend coming?
She's not. Her family's actually from Denver, so funny enough, her family might come, but she won't be able to come. She has to work. So
yeah, it's been interesting. I've been asking everybody because I'm coming by myself, and I was just like, I don't know anybody. I'm just going to attach myself to people. So I might be attaching myself as your mom. I could pass as your mom at this point, Greg. So
you could, but we also could just be an interesting friend interaction.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you for saying that.
Go get a glass of wine. We'll talk about
rosé.
Pajama habits, rosé.
Yeah. I'll see if I can drum up a house coat with a cannoli in it before I get there. Who knows?
Great.
Just be channeling my grandma. You never know. All right. Well, listen, this was such a pleasure. You can find Greg at the Greg's Benedict. That's a good name. How did that come about?
My friends created my Instagram, and now I regret it.
That's okay. The Greg's Benedict. Do you have a website?
I don't.
All right, we're gonna work on that.
Need to get one.
Work on that while we're there. Actually, you should ask Matt, because Matt, I got so mad at when we were in Myrtle Beach together for a week, and I was like, let me see your website. He was like, I was like, your website? He's like, oh, it's not really that good. And I looked at it, I go, it's not even a thing. Like, what did you? So we worked together for weeks, and we were working on his website, get his picture done. It was really fun. I love Matt. He's the best. We had the best time together. All right. Well, you can go follow Greg on Instagram and see when he's going to be in your area. Oh, last question. Do you have an Italian horn?
What? An Italian horn?
Yes, the necklace. Of course he does. Wait, where is it?
There's no pendant on it.
Well,
yeah, I used to have one, but this was different. This is new.
Where did it go?
I needed to change it up.
Okay, I can accept that. At least you had the gold chain. If you didn't have it, I'd be like, you're not even. Are you even really?
I had the cross. I did the whole thing. It was too Italian. I needed to try something different.
Yeah, just mix it up a little. Okay. Yeah. No, you're traveling, so you don't want to bring a lot of attention to yourself. So.
You got to be understated. Yeah.
Yeah, understated. All right, Greg. Well, it was such a pleasure. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you.
Thanks, Tina.
All right. I'll
see you in a bit.
Thanks. Bye-bye. All right, he's adorable. Literally looks like Dean Blizzard. They're like 5 years apart. So funny. I'm just letting everybody know if I had a degree in mathematics, I would tell everybody. And I love that he was so understated about it. I know. It's so funny. So funny. All right. Well, listen, we had a great time, everybody. I think heading to Vail is going to be so much fun and get to, give you the inside scoop on some of the comics that we've met here in the last few weeks and see what happens. Got lots of different flavors and personalities. So we'll see. I know he sounded so smart. I did think it was super interesting when he said about math. Like, I can't imagine if your brain gets math that much that it doesn't affect how your brain just kind of processes things. So it's always interesting to me when comedians are so good at some other thing that's a little bit artistic or math. It has to, because there's only like 4 people that know math. And I have to believe that it's a gift. Yeah. I'm sorry to have to ask this, but what is an Italian horn? Janet, I'm glad you're here. Let's discuss it. For those of you, this is an important lesson. We don't want to leave without this. So they're in the Italian culture. If you wanted to put a vex on someone, a hex, are those the same word? Either way, a curse, dare I say. I'm going to do the I love you sign. This means I love you in sign language. Now, Janet, if I was to put my thumb down and I'm not going to do it because this still means I love you and I can point to you. But if my thumb was down and it made like devil's horns and you pointed at somebody, girl, and you don't do this lightly. This is just like your mortal enemy in Italian. And you it's called the Maloiks. You shooting them the Maloiks. It's very old school. Okay. So because at any moment somebody could shoot you Maloiks from anywhere, Janet, you get the Italian horn and it's supposed to ward off all the bad energy. And so you Italians will wear this Italian horn on a necklace and it gets away all the bad juju. Yeah, a hex and a vex, whatever it is. Thank you, Tracy. So it just became our thing. So, you like, it used to, like, a lot of times people will ask me, am I Greek? Am I Italian? Am I Jewish? Like, I get a lot of like kind of dark Mediterranean looking things. But the Italian horn is telltale Italian. The Greeks aren't wearing it. The Spaniards aren't wearing it. This is really just an us thing. So that is what it is. And you really can only swap it out for Jesus. And it's very much more of a guy thing. Like Dean, when Dean was born, my mom's like, Dina, I got the Italian horn already. So there's like a baby horn that he had. And then he got his full size horn, but he don't wear it a lot because he don't want to make the ladies crazy. It's not true. Yeah. I've always heard you couldn't buy yourself a horn. It had to be a gift. Is it true? All the ones that because my sisters and I got them in high school, because we had a blend. But they were all gifts. So now that you're saying it, yeah, I guess they are gifts. Usually from your whoever loves you and doesn't want you to get a curse, you would get an Italian horn. So it's just classic Italian. He knew when I asked him, do you have it? And then he was like, I don't. I do have my crucifix. And I was like, that'll do. But again, he's just mixing it up. As long as you got the gold chain, it's really speaks for itself. So yeah. So there you go. A little bit of history. And it nestles very nicely in the chest hair. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you never know. All right. Well, listen, everybody, this was great. Today's Wednesday. That was more for me than for you. Because I feel like I've lacked the time-space continuum and I don't know what day it is. Tomorrow we will have a morning show. It'll be great. Friday, if I go live, it will be super early from the airport. But then I will be on Lady Journey at 5 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Mountain. Do the rest of the math yourself because I can't. On Lady Journey, which is a podcast. And that will be with Sarah and Katie. And that'll be from Vail. So I land pretty early in the morning, driving a bunch of people that I don't know to Vail from Denver. And we'll see how many friends I have by then. So that's it. We did great today. And Greg's adorable. Make sure you go follow him at the Greg's Benedict. That was funny too. I love it when you see the young people doing the things. So go and support. He's got some funny stuff. I didn't ask him about the Raleigh Comedy Festival. He was like roasting the mayor of Raleigh. And I was like, this is not little. He's very smart. That's a hard thing to do. And he did a nice job. At least the clip that I saw. All right. What is super early? I don't know, Anne-Marie. I have no idea what my flight is. I'm going to find that out tomorrow when I go, geez, I think I have to be at the airport early. And then I'll know when I look it up. So that's it. All right, everybody, have a great day, a blessed day, like Judy from Saskatoon. And good time, Andrea say, get yourself a house coat. There's going to be a fashion show. I can't wait when I come back. So go do it. Get a house coat. Let's bring them back single-handedly. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a good one. Bye.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's morning show, make sure to follow us for more OneFunnyMother content.
Okay, all right. Morse code is tapping.
And check out OneFunnyMotherStore.com for great new inappropriate swag. And for more exclusive content, consider becoming a supporter.
She got a bad leg.
Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on One Funny.